Hey guys, just wanted to do a quick broadcast on the correlation trade that we got out there. You can find it on our website, uniqueforexpro.com. Let me just show you that real quick. uniqueforexpro.com. The research is there for free, at least this one. Really good correlation signal here tonight. Pound yen to dollar yen. So if you don't know what correlation trading is, it's somewhat different, somewhat similar to just directional trading. Okay, I could just show you quickly how it's different. This is between pound yen and dollar yen. Okay, so pound yen is what you see here in the candlesticks. All right. And dollar yen is the other chart. You can see how the spread is widened. It's about 550 pips right now, okay? That's the widest spread since the end of January. I believe it was January 27th. The spread was about 700 pips. So we're close, right? So it's 550 pips. Now, these two pairs, okay, let me go one step further. Our algorithm is saying it's given about a 79% chance that pound yen is coming in, that's going to come down. And it's given about a 73% chance that we're going to see a rebound of US dollar Japanese yen over the next couple days, okay? So between that and what we're seeing here, you can see the setup. Now, with pound yen and dollar yen having a 550 pip spread, again, the widest since the end of January, it's very intriguing here. What you have to remember now with a correlation trading is it's not just the correlation that's important. You also have to take into consideration the volatility level. Okay, so these two pairs are correlated. Let's call it about 90% of the time. If you look at hourly, daily, weekly, monthly, 3 months, 6 months, yearly. It's in the neighborhood of 90%. You know, you might look at a 6 month, it might be 92%. You might look at a 3 month, might be 89%. A yearly is about 92%. Daily, just today, it's become uncorrelated, right? So obviously that correlation, if you look at a correlation table online, you're not going to see that they're highly correlated on a daily basis, okay? So that's what we need to take advantage of. So 90% of the time, they're going to be trading in unison with each other. That other 10% of the time is when we like to jump on it, right? Now, the volatility level is a different story. Pound yen is about twice as volatile as dollar yen. In the neighborhood of twice as volatile. With that said, your pound yen position is going to have to be smaller than your dollar yen position to negate any risk, okay? So if you were to go 100,000 in both, if you went 100,000 dollar yen, 100,000 in pound yen, you're taking on a lot of risk, okay? Because pound yen is so much more volatile than dollar yen. So with that said, what I recommend is your dollar, when you put on this, if you put on this position, your dollar, you're going to be going long dollar yen. Let's say you go long $100,000 yen. When you go short the pound yen, you're going to want to short anywhere between 50,000, maybe as high as 70 or 75,000. That will negate some of that risk of volatility risk. Okay. And when I say they're correlated, it doesn't mean they're going to move the same amount of pips, obviously, because volatility level on pound yen is so much more than dollar yen, right? But when they're correlated, they move in the same direction. Again, doesn't mean they're going to move the same amount of pips. They're going to move the same direction. Obviously, you can see how the directions were the same a lot of times. When they got wide, sure enough, if you had put it on here, if you went long dollar yen here and short pound yen when this spread was here, as soon as they came in really close together, you have a very nice profit on your hand. Let's see, again right here. If you went long pound yen and short dollar yen in this spread, when they narrowed, I don't know if this would have been quite narrow enough, but certainly in here, you would have had a nice profit. You would have a nice profit on your pound yen. your dollar yen, you would have lost a little bit on, but you would have made much more on your pound yen position. Again, if you do $100,000 yen, you're going to want to do 50 to 70, maybe 75,000 of pound yen. What else can I say about it? It's not the same taking this position by shorting. Some people will argue by us taking this correlation position of shorting pound yen and going long dollar yen, they're going to argue saying that, well, why don't you just short pound dollar? Well, and you'll see this on our research if you go to the website. We talk about it. It's not the same. If you take a short pound dollar position, you're short pound, you're long dollar, which basically you're doing here. That's number one. That's a directional play, right? So barring any strategy, indicators, algorithm, anything like that, you got 50-50 odds. If you short pound dollar, if it goes down, you make money. If it goes up, you're going to lose money and you're going to get stopped out. Okay. Number two, this correlation has a third economy, the Japanese economy, and therefore the Japanese yen. So how the U.S. economy reacts to what's going on in Japan at times is going to differ than how the UK economy reacts to what's going on in Japan. So again, that makes it different. And the third thing I could say is with a correlation trade, we could be dead wrong on our pound yen, okay? So what could very easily happen here, we're going to be short pound yen, long dollar yen. Maybe both of these things start to pop, and we could be dead wrong on our pound yen and pound yen rallies, but our dollar yen will rally as well, or should rally at that time. And dollar yen may rally much faster than pound yen, giving us a profit. We could be dead wrong on going long dollar yen and be dead right by shorting pound yen. And maybe pound yen comes in much faster and dollar yen goes down, right? Or we could be right on both and they both come down. Both the dollar yen goes up and pound yen comes down, booking a beautiful profit. So we have several different ways of profiting in a correlation trade. A directional trade, you got one way of profiting. You got to be right. And if you're not right, you're going, obviously you're going to lose money. So with that said, this was our correlation signal for tonight. Short pound yen, long dollar yen. Take into consideration, you got to set a mental stop. You don't set a hard stop. So you got to set a mental stop, how much you want to risk according to the equity value of your account. And your pound yen is going to be a smaller position size than your dollar yen. Anywhere between 50% and say 30%, maybe 25% smaller. Again, if you're long $100,000 yen, you're going to want to be short anywhere between 50 and maybe as much as 75,000 pound yen. So that's it. Go to our website, uniqueforexpro.com, and you will see the research on there and the explanation of this correlation signal. And hopefully put it on. We had a really nice one last night, which was Euro Canadian to US dollar Canadian. That was a really good correlation trade last night. What did we do with that? EuroCAD, we had made only 5.4 pips on, but US dollar Canadian dollar we made 107 pips. So overall we made about 112 pips on that trade, on that correlation trade last night. Granted, we had a little bit smaller Euro Canadian. We had a little bit smaller Euro Canadian position than we had US dollar Canadian, but we made the bulk of our money on US dollar Canadian dollar, just as it turned out. So we'll take that 112 pips without taking on directional risk, right? So correlation trading greatly reduces our directional risk, which is a beautiful thing. So hopefully this one works out for us as well. Could take a few hours, could take a few days. Could take a few weeks. We've been in an Aussie dollar to New Zealand dollar for a few weeks now, which we're down a little bit on. But we'll expect it to turn around. You could hold these things for quite some time. The only thing by holding them, you take on a little bit of interest charges, of course. But we'll see. Ideal scenario is that they last a few hours to a day or so. That's the ideal scenario. Just as the EuroCAD US dollar Canadian from last night. It was literally about maybe 8 or 9 hours, I think. Anyway, guys, good luck. Just wanted to share this with you. Go to the website. The research is there a little bit. You can read up on it a little bit. If you could share the broadcast, we'd appreciate it. We're also going to have the broadcast. We may put it on the website. I don't know. Or on our YouTube channel. Possibly tomorrow. Anyway, so that's it. Guys, good luck and have a great rest of your night.